Hello everyone, Cleric here, and in case you were unaware, Armored Core 6's rank season just ended, and everyone from rank B3 up to S were dropped a couple notches, so now is the best time to get into 3v3 rank. Now look, listen, I know some of you are not fans of 3v3, you avoided it, it's not your cup of tea, it took too long to get games. Now look, as of right now, the queues have been popping like crazy for ranks B through S. Queues all day yesterday were taking around 30 seconds or less for most people throughout most of the day. So if you want to try and get that elusive S rank in teams that a lot of people did not get because the queues were too long last season, you're better off doing it now. Because if you wait till later on in the season, like a lot of people did, you may find it takes 10 plus, and then some people reported even 20-minute queues to get into a single S rank. Well, not S rank, try to get to S rank game, excuse me, in 3v3. And that is rough and takes it way too long. Just last fight in Cowboy, we tried to help him. It still didn't help him with all of us helping him out. Now, with that being said, 3v3 is a fair bit different than singles. It is based on team points, which are gained by destroying enemy ACs. That means you're relying upon your teammates to help you get the win. Now, even if you lose, the cool part is in 3v3, if you get enough points for your team, even if your team loses, you still gain rank points that go towards your next promotion. But it is still better to win, but overall, ranking up in teams should be faster than compared to singles. However, I am noticing a trend among a lot of the random teammates I'm running into in 3v3. They seem pretty unsure or unaware how to best approach 3v3s or to maximize their own points, which in turn will also maximize your team's points. Too many are approaching it like it's a singles match, which will only get you so far. So here are 5 things that every Armored Core player should be doing in Armored Core 6's ranked teams games. Number 1, use terminal armor. And no, nothing is better. Now look, we realize there's 3 different expansions in this game, and we have seen pulse armor get mostly used in singles, with a few smatterings of terminal armor and assault armor here and there. But terminal armor is critical in Armored Core 6 3v3. Terminal armor essentially acts as a second life. With the way everything works, as I'll explain later on in this list, with chain staggering and combo staggering and earshots and cannons and zims and kicks, oh my, there's so much going on in the game that it's not hard to get popped immediately down to 1 AP in a matter of just a couple seconds. So terminal armor can effectively extend your life by a few seconds, and you can use that time to either critically run away at the very end of a match with only a couple seconds left, or more importantly, just go ham and deal out that damage. And we'll talk about damage a little bit later too. So terminal armor is it. We have discussed it greatly in 3v3 matches. You look at all the people who run the regular 3v3 scrims and 3v3 tournaments, they'll all tell you the same thing. Terminal armor is essential. So I know some of you don't like it. I know some of you it's not your favorite. I know some of you prefer pulse armor or assault armor. I am telling you, terminal armor will take you by far the furthest in this game mode, and you are detrimenting yourself and detrimenting your team. Because as soon as the other team realizes you don't have terminal armor, even if you pop pulse armor, a couple earshots will instantly eliminate your pulse armor, which by the way, earshot's a very popular weapon in 3v3. And next thing you know, your pulse armor was borderline useless, whereas terminal armor is really hard to get through in time, and you can also dish out a bunch of damage. Don't care about taking or dodging damage, just go in and take out an enemy AC, and maybe you can pop their terminal armor too. So yes, please, 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 if you're gonna play 3v3 ranked with a bunch of random people you don't know, please, for the love of everything, please use terminal armor. Number 2, clean your plate. Please confirm the enemy kills. I cannot begin to tell you how many times I've gone into 3v3 matches, and I'm here 1v1ing another person, trying to get him down. I get him down to terminal armor, and I get double teamed by a teammate showing up, and they stagger me out to where I can't get them killed. I die, I come back, they're still not dead, they're dishing out free damage against my teammates who haven't killed them yet either, and here I am 15 seconds later finally killing them, only getting about 70-80 points, and the whole time they're basically getting free damage. 1 AP damage is a problem. If an enemy AC is down to 1 AP and they've already had their terminal armor popped, and assuming they have them, a lot of these examples are going to assume terminal armor is the case, you are essentially giving them free reign to do damage to you. 1 AP can be done by simple shotguns, a Ludlow, a handgun, the explosive damage from an earshot, from a distance, whatever you may name. It has to go away. You need to be confirming your kills. Look, I am the guy running a wheelchair for the most part that's going to be running double Majestics and double LCDs. I should not be taking my wheelchair, trying to go hunt down a missile rat in the middle of the sky, kicking like an idiot, kicking back and forth, just so I can try to LCD shot and get him. I have wasted so many Majestic shots getting a 1 AP AC when I should be focusing on the next person, even though I've constantly, in fact, one match I wish I would have recorded, I had two people, a missile rat and a missile boat. And I do mean missile rat, light person, missile boat, as the person was using the boat legs. And they are just nothing but missiles, and not a one of them shot their missiles at this person the entire time I was dead, the entire time I was chasing them down, and my poor wheelchair is kicking to catch up to the middle of the air missile rat to finally kill them. So yes, please clean your plate. You're having the other person get free damage on you before they die, racking up the points, getting your points lower because you're spending time dead instead of spending time alive. So if you see someone at 1 AP, please confirm the kills. Number 3, stick with your team. This is teams, not singles. You know, I feel like this is a little bit redundant for this number, but I can't express it enough how important this is. You may notice, at least if you've done this in the higher ranking teams games, I have a tournament I participated in with a couple of people to kind of explain how this works. At least kind of show what like competitive teams kind of looks like. You can't go by yourself. You can't go solo. Going out and waiting out into the enemy team all by yourself, you're asking to be 10k AP'd, 1 AP'd in a matter of half a second. The last thing you need is 3 ACs focus firing you because you're all by yourself. They're getting staggered. At the very least, you're going to get staggered probably. Getting your AP down very quickly, they can kill you off real fast, and suddenly your team is down 3v2. They're just going to come rush you, take your teammates out, and then they're going to start cycling your death cycles over and over and over again, and then you've been at a disadvantage from the very beginning. It is important to stick with your team. When you are engaged with your team can see who you're staggering, you can see who they're staggering, you can see who's a good target, you can pay attention to what's going on the screen. It's the best way to do it. If you're just out doing 3 individual solo matches, it's kind of a waste. Kind of the best dynamic. And I can tell you, there's going to be at least 2 people on the team who's not going to do that. At least one of the person's going to help out. And next thing you know, you're losing every engagement because they're learning how to gang up on someone where you are not. So yes, stick with your team. Don't go out by yourself. Don't be a lone wolf. Stick with your team and help them out. This even includes missile rats and missile boats. You may be way up in the air while your team is down on the ground. You should be hovering pretty close to your team so you can help focus target people who are close to them to take them out, or focus target the next person that can help you take them out. So yes, please stick with your team. Number 4, Wombo Combo. Chain staggering is your friend. Look, if those who aren't familiar with chain staggering, there's ways to extend your staggering once someone has ACS down. Things from Halderman shots or other shotgun shots, cannon shots, kicks, punches, a variety of different things that can cause it. Wombo comboing or chain staggering is an insane mechanic that is helpful in ones, but even just used to even more devastating effect in 3v3. Look, if you have someone who's a big heavy tank or a big heavy biped who has a lot of AP, so take a lot of defenses, so it's going to take a few options to get them down. The good news is, if they're that heavy, their ACS recovery stat is pretty low. That means you can chain stagger them for even longer. I have seen myself personally, a tank, a big born Misa tank that has like 2600 stability, 13k AP, and like close to 1300 defenses across the board. They got staggered once, in between a whole team focusing Zimmerman shots, cannon shots, ear shots, kicks, blades, you name it. They went from full health to no health, and the stagger combo was just like boom, 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 boom. They're basically like being a can kick down the road. So if you see someone a teammate gets staggered, not teammate, if your teammate staggers an enemy and you have a chance to pile in on this, you should. By extending that that stagger combo out, you can do a lot of damage. Now, I will tell you, kicks will extend it, but you got to be careful with kicks. I can't tell you how many times I've lined up a nice big LCD shot or charge shot on something, and someone kicks them right out of my cannon fire. So by all means, don't prevent yourself from kicking if you think it's a good idea, or if it's close to someone being dead. But do be somewhat aware that kicking has the potential of knocking the combo out from someone else, continuing it on or doing extra damage. But for the most part, you should be chain staggering like crazy. You see an enemy AC getting staggered, you all should be zeroing on that person and making sure you take them down and then move on to the next person. So Wombo Combo, chain staggering is your friend. Last but not least, Damage is better than surviving. The goal is points, not kill-death ratio. Now, look, I realize our brains are almost kind of wired for this at this point, for a lot of FPSs or even third-person shooters, where you're looking for that sweet KD, kill-death ratio. You know, old 3-to-1, 4-to-1, 5-to-1, 6-to-1, all these crazes you see. People are looking like, oh, I've already died like 6 times, only killed people 3 times. Look, it's not about the kill-death ratio. It's about the points. You get points by doing damage to ACs and then making sure the person AC still dies. Now, there is something to go along with how long it's been since you damage them versus when they actually die, how many points you get. I'm not gonna get into the discussion right now. Just know, damaging is better than surviving. If you're worried you're dying too often, or if you're worried about dying at all, I've seen a lot of people who are playing this game, who are going into it, when they get close to death, they're running away into the city, especially like on Xylem, for example. They're running away into the city and not engaging for the rest of the match because they seem like they're just afraid of dying. It's like, this game, you respawn. You respawn infinitely in this game. Now, it could be because you're maybe running Pulse Armor instead of running Terminal, so you're dying over and over again. Talked about that in the first one. But in all reality, no, that should be, you should be worried about doing damage. Damage is the name of the game in 3v3. You want to be dealing as much damage as consistently as possible. That's why missile rats or missile boats are very effective. That's why a bunch of cannons are very effective. That's why Zim, LCD, for example, right now is very effective. There's lots of builds that are good at dishing out a lot of damage quickly and staggering and comboing these things. So damage is what you want to be doing. Now, there is a time and a place. For example, in the last 10 seconds, your team is only ahead by a single kill, and you're getting either close to terminal armor or you just got your terminal armor popped. That's when you need to be dropping your weapons and assault boosting out and getting your way out as fast as possible so you can try to survive, so you don't get that one last kill on you, and so you end up losing. And so I understand there is a time to strategically retreat, like in the last 8 seconds or so of a match, when you either just have your terminal armor popped or could be very soon. But for the most part, you want to be in the fight doing as much damage as you can. Damage where you get your points from for you personally, and also how you get things killed faster. And again, the name of the game is points. So have I said damage enough yet? Damage. You need to be doing damage, not worrying about how you survive. So yes, I'm literally telling you to sacrifice your body in Armored Core 3v3, because it is what you need to be doing, because that's how you end up winning these matches, is you got to dish out the damage more than the other team is. All right, so that is my 5 things that all Armored Core players should be doing in Armored Core 6 3v3 ranked teams. Let me know if you want more of these kind of things. I haven't really done a lot of tip videos in a long time because I feel like a lot of this stuff is pretty well explored. But I've noticed a lot of people seem very new to 3v3, at least how they're playing. It seems like they're very new to 3v3. And these might be some basics that maybe they're not paying attention to, really don't know about, or aren't really necessarily paying attention to, or just kind of playing it like it's a 1v1 match when really it's a 3v3. It is a whole different animal. And let me tell you, high level 3v3 is a whole lot of fun to watch. So links will be in the description below for a tournament I played in where we did a little bit of a bit. I think I had some nonsense and fun. Anyways, beyond the point, 3v3 is a blast. And while the queue times are short, now is the time you should be playing. And the cool news is, if we get more of you to S rank, that means there's more people to play S rank later, because the S rank queues actually weren't that bad once I got there in teams. I got S rank in singles and in team queues last year. And like I say, once I got there, S-rank queues popped a lot, and they were a lot of fun. S-rank matches were a whole lot of fun. People playing some really good builds and a lot of good damage, a lot of very, very close games, and some games that aren't so close. But again, a whole discussion for another day. So again, this is Cleric. I hope this is helpful to you. Please like, follow, subscribe, all those wonderful things. I try to stream a couple times a week. I try to bring a video out once or twice a week. And I will be having a news video next week that's going to be a huge one because there's lots and lots of stuff to cover. Thank you all for your time. Appreciate you watching my video. I will see you in the next one.